Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bookswagon. So today with me, I have Monika Tandon ma'am, जो वर्ड्स ऑफ बिजनेस एंड कम्युनिकेशन को स्टोरी टेलिंग के साथ कंबाइन करते हैं. मैम इज़ अ सीजन स्ट्रेटेजिक कम्युनिकेशंस एक्सपर्ट who has worked closely with CXOs and leadership teams. So ma'am, welcome to Bookswagon. I'm really glad to have you here today.
Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction, and it's so good to be among with you all. I remember I was here last year as well, so it's a bit of nostalgia seeing the familiar faces here, and it's good that you guys are spreading love for books here right at the book fair. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I really wanted to know, in your experience, why has storytelling become such a critical skill today for CXOs?
I would say not only for CXOs, but yes, we are living in a very attention deficit world where every second thing is fighting for our attention, and there is so much of noise all around us. So the people who stand out, or the brands who stand out, have a different story to tell, which helps them to cut through the noise, which helps them to build a noise for their product or their solution or whatsoever they are building today. So your stories are, rooted in authenticity, told with clarity and conviction, is what the business storytelling is all about. And that's how you differentiate yourself, you stand out from the crowd.
Indeed, ma'am. Ma'am, many leaders believe that data speaks for itself. So why do you think stories are still essential in business decision making?
Well, I would say data doesn't have a voice of a storyteller to speak, and data only speaks when it is told with clarity, with some comparison or some analogy in place, or when we put a spotlight on a particular number, a particular human angle, an effort that has actually made a difference. So that is what storytelling is all about in data. Narrative plus visuals in place, plus a spotlight, zooming in into a number, and then knowing the story behind that number. So that's how the data makes a connect. Let me give you a very small example here. We all are using Google Maps, right? We are able to make sense out of the destination where we want to go only when the data is integrated with time, with traffic, with the number of minutes with it takes to reach a particular distance. So that clarity is only being made when someone is communicating it with actual clarity. So we are able to make a sense out of the way that okay, it will take me 19 minutes to reach to this destination, but I can only be benefited from the advice of Google Maps because it is integrating all that data in the back end and giving me the directions very clearly. So this is what data storytelling is all about. Communicating numbers with clarity, with relevance, and which are meaningful for the people who are listening to it.
मैम प्लीज़ फिर हमको ये बताएं कि आपने बहुत लोगों के साथ काम भी किया है, तो डेटा स्टोरी टेलिंग में ऐसे कौन से कॉमन मिस्टेक्स होते हैं जो यूजुअली लोग कर देते हैं?
I would not say mistakes. People are coming from different backgrounds. A person who is very much experienced in technical expertise, right, very much rooted in the knowledge or in the numbers or the coding which he or she is doing. But when the same thing needs to be told to a different department, right, to make a sense out of those numbers, there some people struggle. Some people struggle to tell it with conviction or with clarity, and that is where storytelling actually makes a difference. It empowers you with a skill that helps you to speak with clarity, with examples, so that other people does not get overwhelmed with those numbers or struggle to make a sense out of it. So storytelling actually helps you to give an example in place, and with that example, the other person or the other department is able to understand those numbers better.
Thank you for telling that, ma'am. Ma'am, can you share an experience जहाँ पे actually leadership का कोई ऐसा example हो जिसने सही में किसी organization या team का direction ही बदल के रख दिया हो?
I would say, we are living in a VUCA world, And by VUCA, I mean, there are changes happening so fast in our environment.
Actually.
And when there is a certain change or certain team transformation takes place, then what helps actually people is like, people are not afraid of change. They are afraid because they are not prepared for that change. And how do you prepare people for change? You tell them the story, you tell them the context about that change, that what it is all about, how that change will lead us to a better future, where we are right now and where we will be after that transformation. So that story needs to be told in the place so that that change is absorbed and action is taken with full confidence, with full conviction that it is for the better, not for the chaos.
And ma'am, then how does that balance happen, like business storytelling? So it is three parts as I can break it. I think business, communication and storytelling. So how do you strike a balance between all the three in your book?
In my book specifically, we have spoken about what business storytelling is all about. That is telling a relevance, a purpose-driven story to help people to understand your information. Then we have shared certain frameworks of a story. But those are not only the frameworks of a story, those are also the frameworks which helps you to structure your presentations, helps you to structure your email, or your address. You are a leader, you are doing a town hall, you want to structure your message well so that it lends with the audience better, you are able to pace yourself in the communication better. So there are certain frameworks which helps you to structure your information, your presentation. Then, as the word suggests, storytelling. So story is all about content, and telling is all about how you speak, how you articulate your ideas, how do you inculcate emotions, how do you inculcate pace, projection of voice, your body language comes into the picture, how you are able to speak with energy, with conviction, with confidence, you're passionate about your stuff, because you cannot inspire other people unless until you are inspired yourself, right? So it's as basic as that. So in the book, you see, we talk about the content, we talk about relevance, purpose-driven stories which leaders can use while communicating with their teams, and then how do you tell those stories well. So it's a holistic book which talks not only about content but also about frameworks, but also about designing and delivery of your content.
Ma'am, as you said earlier, indeed, in today's generation, the attention span is short. And also we have so many budding leaders and so much entrepreneurship currently going on. So I would really love if you could give some sort of an advice or a message to the readers or, upcoming leaders, I may say, and your readers, please.
So I would say, couple of things. First, read a lot. And by reading a lot, I mean read and then write something. Write authentically. Write something on which you have read so that you are able to absorb that knowledge better. Then a realistic advice as per World Economic Forum, skills that are making noise these days are human-centric skills. By human-centric skills, I mean sales, I mean negotiation, I mean communication, I mean executive presence, I mean storytelling, right? So in the world where AI is making so much of noise, let AI do the grammar part of it or design beautiful presentations, but be the human element of it. Write better, and to write better, you need to read better. So if you are visiting the book fair, leverage this power of books to think, to reflect, and then to write, but write in your own authentic voice.
Thank you so much, ma'am, actually, for letting us know so much. I'm really grateful that you joined us for this session today. And thank you everyone for being with us here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. At the Bookswagon stall, and I could see the array of, fiction, non-fiction, self-help books, and Bookswagon is doing an amazing job of spreading love for stories, spreading love for, self-help books. So make the most out of it. Procure some really nice books, and Bookswagon site itself, is such an empowering site where you can find so many books at discounted rates as well. So read more books and go and invest your time and energy in reading Connect Through Storytelling and the Storyteller CXO, Both of my books are available on Bookswagon stall and on Bookswagon site, and I love to be at this space where we are talking so much about books, talking so much about power of reading. So thank you so much for having me here, and wishing Bookswagon team all the very best. Thank you so much.